Hello, my friends. First of all, I apologize for my English pronunciation. English is not my native language, but I record my videos in English because of to reach wider audience. I hope you will understand me. Thank you. Now, let's get to the topic. I want to explain you let them do it theory to you with examples. And I am sure that once you learn this theory, you will feel much more at ease in many areas of your life. Imagine that you have two friends you have been hanging out with for a long time in the workplace and whom you consider close friends. These friends have made plans for a weekend without telling or inviting you. You have no idea about this, but a few days or weeks later, you find out about this plan when someone from the group accidentally let it slip and you go crazy. You say, how could they not tell me? Why didn't they invite me? You enter into a serious mental battle. You think, I did this for those people. I did those favors for them. I brought them close to me, and so on. This truly causes you serious disappointments. Let me give another example. You are about to park your car, but someone parked his car diagonally across the street and you are struggling. You say, these people still have not the culture of the living city. Dozens of examples like these could be listed. Some of these events minor, some of them major, and they exhaust us mentally. You constantly obsesses, you struggle, but most of the time these aren't areas that we can control. And then you know what happens? This stress, this struggle seriously exhausts you mentally. Let it go theory. We call it theory because it's not scientific. This theory says that when we apply to let it go theory, especially in areas that we cannot control, we experience legendary relief. We become at peace with life. We become at peace with people. We enter a state of acceptance. While some people might describe this as a passive stance, I don't think so. Most of the time we fight against things with perhaps valid reasons, but in the end it doesn't do much good. We are left tired and unhappy. There is a very good example that explains this. There is a canoe and you are entering a river with a strong current, holding paddles in your hands. Your goal is to use your paddles to move in the opposite direction of the river's current. But do you know what happened? Even if you put your greatest effort, you stay where you are most because the river's current is very strong. Our connection with other people and events is like this river's current. Do you know what happens if we fight against the river currents? We stay where we are most, and even staying where we are comes to this point, an incredible point of physical and mental exhaustion. Here I want to explain how you can apply the let it go theory. Let them do what they want theory. In which areas of your life I have been seriously applying this for the past 2 months, and I can say that it really does relax me. First, I will talk about unmet expectations and disappointments. Life can disappoint us in many ways. For example, your friends may not have invited you, as I mentioned. You are about to make a choice in your life and you are waiting for your family approval. You are waiting for them to give you permission. It doesn't happen, and there is a person in your life, someone you value, is behaving in a ridiculous way. They are hurting you and damaging your relationship. You keep wondering why your friends are behaving this way, why they didn't invite you. You are struggling to approval from your family. You talk about yourself all the time. Maybe you fight and fight, or you fight a serious battle for that partner, that important person in your life, to correct their disturbing behaviors that harm you and your relationship. But even though you have been trying for years, you haven't made that much progress. This is where the let it go go theory comes in. They didn't call you, that's their choice. They shouldn't. Your parents don't approve, they shouldn't. So that's their choices too. Or does your partner, the person you care about in some way, continue to behave like that? Let it go on like that. Why are you fighting? Fighting doesn't do anything, but it makes you exhaust yourself. In such a situation, we let it go. But what do we do? It's not a complete letting go. There is a part where it says just do it. The second stage is the focus on our own lives, our own responsibilities. If they didn't invite me and I feel disappointed jealously, I can deal with these feelings. In this way, they are giving me a message. They are saying, we don't see you in our group of friends. Okay, I can find a new group of friends accordingly. I can invest in myself. If my family doesn't approve what I want, I can decide what I want in my life in the right way and move forward on my own. If my partner doesn't want to change, if he or she doesn't give up these damaging behaviors somehow, this is his or her decision too. There is nothing you can do. Am I able to accept it or am I going to move on? That's what I am looking at. What do you do in such a situation? Everyone has freedom to behave different, even if it seems to harm us. We accept their freedom. With the theory of let them do it, let them go, we then focus on the areas where we can do it ourselves, where we are strong. For example, there is something that's very popular in some countries today. I say popular, but it's actually a bad thing. Because of political differences, because of religious beliefs, cousins, maybe close relatives in the same family can stop talking to each other. They can solve. Serious anger reactions can even turn into physical fights. And imagine you are in such an environment. You went on a holiday visit and there are different political views. You get into an argument and try to change their minds. It's pointless. It doesn't do any good. You cannot change anyone's opinion or political view. In a situation like this, which applies to both sides, you say let him or her go. Let him believe what he wants. He can do what he wants. He may not do what he wants. And what you can do in such a situation is to focus on your own idea, to focus on your own word, to do things that maybe can be considered positive for your own idea. But on the other hand, if you get into such a war, your relationships will deteriorate and your morale will deteriorate. So I think it's very pointless. For example, the people you love may move away from you. They might make other friends. They may not call you as much as before. They may not call you on your birthday. You will see the person who didn't call you on your birthday has posted a photo with someone else he was not intimate with before. He posted a story on Instagram. At that moment, you feel as if using your liver, as if someone is accusing your heart. You get very jealous and of course demoralized. You think how they could do that. And of course your mind starts working like a machine. I did this, I did that. Lots of alternative scenarios in your mind. Now, this is a sad situation. One can get bored. One can get jealous. It's not abnormal. But here, with the theory of let it go, people have the right to make new choices. They have the right not to like me. Maybe at that moment, not me, but someone else is good for them. Another friend is good for them. Here, I accept that they have the right to make such a choice and I focus on my own life again. First, I work on my jealousy. I express these feelings and ask myself, why do I feel like this? What can I do in this situation? What am I lacking right now? And how can I lack this feel? And how can I feel this lack? But this is the only area I can afford. Otherwise, post with references and maybe confrontation do not fix anything and at some point make things worse. And there is an example of this in truth. It's actually a very simple example. Someone cuts in front of you in the truth and at that moment you get angry. You decided to get into a fight. You follow the man or woman. You cut in front of him or her. You flash your lights. You honk your horn. This time it gets so big that maybe you stop the car somewhere up ahead. You both get out of the car. In the best case scenario, there will be insults. Maybe a physical fight will arise. When you go home in the evening, let's say it didn't turn into a fight, but a serious insulting situation arises. You will have ruined your whole day for someone for someone who is not 100,000, 1 millionth of your life. Maybe you won't be able to take care of your children. You will snap at them too. Maybe you had some things to read. There are things you need to study, but you won't be able to focus on any of it. Is it worth serious exhaustion? What actually happened? The let it go theory helps us get out of pointless wars. Don't fight this battle someone who doesn't cover hundred thousands of your life. You will not win anyway. If that person is guilty, he or she will probably continue to do this in the next life. I think the most reasonable option is to let it go and slow down and give away to him or her. Being judged rumors, this is one of the things we are most obsessed with. You have choices in this life. You have struggles and you have decisions, and sometimes you hear that some people you think you love or people you think love you criticize you, judge you, talk badly about you behind your back, and this time it really bores you, and this time it really bothers you. Some of them don't even talk behind of your back. They judge you to your face. For example, they say things that you make you feel bad. Sometimes in this situation we get to the point where we feel like we have to prove ourselves to them. We try to explain that we are not the person they accuse us of being, that we have very good goals, that we are very valuable on our own way. We even struggle. This is very tiring because at some point such people judge you not to hear an answer from you but just to judge you. They just want to gossip because they have nothing to talk about. Now what happens when you sit and explain yourself to these people who don't really want to hear you by struggling? They will say yes, yes, yes. They will tell you to keep going what you are doing, and you will wear out your nerves in another battle. In a situation like this, it's good to remember this. Let them do it. Everyone has the right to say and think what they want. If it harms you in a legal sense, if it seriously harms your career, of course you take all necessary measures. But other than that, if such things come up in daily life, let anyone say whatever they want, and someone judge you, say, oh, thank you for your opinion. I have the freedom to think like that. This is what I want. Yes, this is what I want. In other words, to go back to my own life and follow the path of my own life. Otherwise, if I try to prove myself to everybody, it becomes a serious battle. You make some important decisions in your life. Sometimes it can be changing your job, changing cities, moving from one place to another. It could be ending a relationship that hurts you. People around you may judge these decisions. They may say things that make you feel bad like that. But nobody knows how you feel, and you are already filled with anger at that moment. Maybe you took a decision and saved yourself. You can have a great reaction to someone criticizing your decision. You can think, how can he or she not understand me? How can he or she treat me like this? I mean, I think it's normal. People have the freedom to think as they want, even to swear, so we cannot prevent that. So here is the point. Thank you for coming with such feedback. You can politely express that this is what I think. You can go back to your own way and your own decision. So here is the thing, my dear friends. We always think we can control people's opinion, but we can't. Let it go. So the point here is that if there is something legal, if there is a possibility of serious harm, you take precautions. Other than that, let people think what they want. This will give you a great relief. I mean, it's not easy at first, but gradually you feel more relaxed. For example, you are in the supermarket waiting at the checkout. There is only one cash register. A lot of people are waiting. They don't open new registers. You have been told a few times, and then something like this happens. You talk to this person. You argue with that person. Again, you have a great stress load during the day. You say, I will wait 5 minutes longer. There is nothing to do. Let it go. Or sometimes someone parks in a trouble spot in a parking lot in troublesome way. Let him do it. You have complained once. It's okay. There is no need to struggle, to fight all the time. Don't think of it as a passive situation. I mean, there are so many little things in our lives that we struggle. But despite this struggle, we cannot change people. We cannot change what happens and what will happen. That's why I would like to focus a little more on our own lives rather than changing changing other people's behaviors and thoughts rather than that control parts, because only there can we show our power fully. Otherwise, it's not very possible. And I would like to say this. Sometimes this state of struggle can also come to the point of making a relationship with other people work. But a relationship is not something that you put a lot of effort into, that you try too hard for, that you can't get, that you can't let go of. You can't let go of. I mean, for example, let's say the person you love returns your message late. He's not interested in you enough. If you think you have explained yourself enough, don't go to war. That person is giving you a message. He says, this is how I am. Even if he says otherwise, his behavior reveals his own state, his natural color. This applies to all people and all situations. In such situations, it would be more useful for me to say, this is the situation, let it go, and focus on what I can do for myself, for my life. Yes, how does this make you feel? I wonder if it can be applied in real life. As I said, I try to apply this let it go and let it be in some matters, and I can say that it works. I wonder if you can apply. Let's see. I'm waiting for your feedbacks. Thank you for listening to me, beautiful person. Be very good to yourself and see you soon. Goodbye. Take care of you.